So next topic is SONET. SONET is synchronous optical network and SDH is synchronous digital hierarchy. So in the SONET, we are going to see the synchronous transport signal, the physical configuration, the SONET frame, the multiplexing STS frames. So first, what is SONET? SONET is an ANSI standard. So the expansion of SONET is synchronous optical network. So in the SONET, we are using synchronous time division multiplexing. In the SONET, all clocks in the system are locked to a master clock. So in this SONET, what we are doing, we are locking all the clocks to a master clock. Now architecture. So when you are coming to the architecture, the SONET is having signals, devices, and connections. First, signal. The SONET defines a hierarchy of electrical signaling levels called synchronous transport signals. Okay. The SONET defines a hierarchy of electrical signal levels called STS, that is synchronous transport signal. So we are having the synchronous transport signals from STS1 to STS192. Each one is having a separate data rate, which is mentioned in megabits per second. The corresponding optical signal are called optical carriers. The synchronous digital hierarchy specifies a similar system called synchronous transport module. In the SONET, the signal is called synchronous transport signal, and in synchronous digital hierarchy, the signals are called synchronous transport module. Now, the synchronous transport module is compatible with the European hierarchies such as E-lines. Okay, so this is STS1. This STS1. This STS1 is having a data rate of 51.840 and STS3 is having a data rate of 155.520. That is nothing but 3 times that of STS1. So STS3 is having 3 times the data rate of STS1. Similarly, STS12 is having a data rate of 12 times that of STS1. Okay, so because of this hierarchy, we can multiplex the signal. That is, by using 3 STS1 signal, we can form 1 STS3 signal. Similarly, by using 6 STS3 signal, we can form 1 STS18 signal. Okay, so that is the advantage. Now, next one is already I have told STS3 is having the 3 times STS1 rate and STS9 is exactly 1/2 of STS18. So by using this relationship, we can multiplex the signals. So this is nothing but a SONET system. So in the SONET system, what are the things we are having is an STS multiplexer, a regenerator, an add drop multiplexer, and STS demultiplexer. These are the devices what you're having in the SONET system. What are the devices you're having in the SONET system? STS multiplexer, regenerator, add drop multiplexer, and STS demultiplexer. Okay. Similarly, when you are coming for this links, that is the section, the part from STS multiplexer to regenerator, or the section is nothing but the optical link between the neighboring devices, that is STS multiplexer regenerator, regenerator to add drop multiplexer, or add drop multiplexer to regenerator, or regenerator to STS demultiplexer. So this section, first part is a section. Section is nothing but the link between 2 devices, 2 neighboring devices is called a section. Then line is a link between an STS multiplexer to add-drop multiplexer or add-drop multiplexer to STS demultiplexer. Okay, either it is the link from STS multiplexer to add-drop multiplexer or add-drop multiplexer to STS demultiplexer. That is line. Path is nothing but end to end. STS multiplexer to STS demultiplexer or the terminals to terminal. Terminal is nothing but the devices that are connected to the STS multiplexers, or in other words, this terminal is nothing but the devices which is using the function of SONET. It is called terminals. So next we are coming for the devices. So the devices is STS multiplexer, demultiplexer, regenerator, add-drop multiplexer, and terminals. Now, first one, STS multiplexer and demultiplexer. This STS multiplexer and demultiplexer. This multiplexer will mark the beginning. The multiplexer will mark the beginning of the SONET, and demultiplexer will mark the ending of SONET. Okay. What is the function of this STS multiplexer? It will mark the beginning. And what is demultiplexer? It marks the ending. Then this STS multiplexer and demultiplexer, it will provide an interface between an electrical tributary and an optical network. So the terminal devices, they are having electrical signal, and the SONET, it will be using optical signal. Okay, so this STS multiplexer and demultiplexer, it will act as an interface between these two. Next one, in an STS multiplexer, multiplex signals from multiple electrical sources, and it will create an optical signal. So STS multiplexer will collect the electrical signal and it will convert to optical signal, and the demultiplexer, it will convert the optical signal into electrical signal. Next one is regenerator. So the main purpose of regenerator is to extend the length. In order to extend the length of SONET, we are using regenerator. So actually what this regenerator will do means, first this regenerator will convert this. Actually regenerator is nothing but an repeater. Okay, so first it will take the optical signal and it will demodulate it and it will convert it into electrical signal, and it regenerate the electrical signal. Then it will again modulates the electrical signal and it will convert it into optical signal. Okay, so what is the function of regenerator? First it will take the optical signal, then it will demodulate, then it will convert that optical into electrical, then it will regenerate the electrical signal, then it will modulate, again it will convert into optical signal. So these are the functions done by regenerator. So the regenerator will replace some of the overhead with some other new overheads. So what is overhead? Overhead is an additional information what you are adding with the data. So to the user data, if you are adding some additional information, that is nothing but the overhead. So next one is add-drop multiplexer. So this add-drop multiplexer allow the insertion and extraction of signal. It will place one STS signal and it can remove another STS signal. That is a function of add-drop multiplexer. So an add-drop multiplexer can add STS signals coming from different sources into a given path, or it can remove a desired signal from a path and redirect it without demultiplexing the entire signal. So this add-drop multiplexer, instead of relying in the bit positions and timing, it will use as the header information. What it will do? It will use the header information. So next one is terminal. Next one is terminal. So terminal are nothing but the devices that uses the service of SONET network. What is terminal? Terminal are the devices that uses the service of SONET network. So for example, in the internet, the terminal can be a router or a system or something that is using the SONET. It is called a terminal. Okay, so next one, type of connections. There are three types of connection. One is section, then line, and then path. So section. A section is an optical link that connects two neighboring devices. Okay. Section is an optical link that connects two neighboring devices. The device may be a multiplexer and regenerator, or multiplexer and multiplexer, or regenerator and regenerator. Next one. Line. A line is a portion of the network. A line is a portion of the network. A line is a portion of the network between two multiplexers. Okay. A line is a portion of the network between two multiplexers. So STS multiplexer to add-drop multiplexer, or STS demultiplexer to add-drop multiplexer. That is line. Path is nothing but the end-to-end portion of the network between two STS multiplexers. It is called path. Now SONET layers. The SONET is having 4 layers. The path layer, line layer, and section layer. These 3 layers is present in the data link layer, and photonic layer, it is present in the physical layer. Okay. These are the 4 layers of SONET. First one, path layer. Path layer is responsible for the movement of signals from its optical source to optical destination. So at the optical source, the signal is changed from electronic form to an optical form, then multiplexed with other signal and encapsulated into a frame. This path overhead is added in the path layer. Similarly, after in the the optical destination, the signals are demultiplexed, and again it is converted from optical to electrical. So path layer overhead is added in this layer. So the path layer function is provided by STS multiplexer. The STS multiplexer will provide the path layer function. Next one, line layer. So line layer is responsible for the movement of signal across a physical line, and line layer head overhead is added. Then section layer. The section layer is responsible for movement of signal across a physical section. Okay. So the section layer, it will handles framing, error control, and scrambling. Scrambling means rearranging the frames or rearranging the data. It is scrambling. Okay. Section layer overhead is added to the frame in this layer. So next one is photonic layer. This photonic layer is equal to the OSI-ISA model. This photonic layer, it will give the details about the type of optical fiber, the sensitivity of the receiver, and the multiplexing functions. Okay. In SONET, we are using non-return to zero encoding. Encoding is nothing but converting of the data into some electrical or optical signal is called encoding. Okay. So in SONET, we are using non-return to zero encoding. So here the presence of light is represented by 1, and the absence of light will be represented by 0. So you know that the digital data will be having ones and zeros. So 1 is, if you are having 1, then light will be there. You will be on the LED. Though if the data is 0, you will off the LED. So next one, device layer relationship. Even though you have this SONET is having 4 layers, all the devices are not using the 4 layers. This STS multiplexers and demultiplexers, they will use the 4 layers, but the regenerator, it is using only 2 layers, and the add-drop multiplexer, it is only using the 3 layers. Okay, so this is a device layer relationship. Next one, data encapsulation. So whenever the data is passing through each layer, the overheads are added. So in the path layer, path overhead is added. In the line layer, line overhead is added. In the section layer, section overhead is added. In the photonic layer, the data will be in the forms of ones and zero, and it will be passed through the transmission medium as an optical signal. Next one is SONET frame. So each SONET frame is, or each STS frame, N frame, STS N signal, it is having 8,000 frames. Okay, each STS N signal is having 8,000 frame. Okay, and one STS one frame will be having 9 rows and 90 column. So if you're having STS N signal, then it will be having 9 rows and 90 into N columns. Okay, if you're having STS N signal, then that STS N signal will be having 9 rows and 90 into N columns. So next one is frame, byte and bits transmission. So STS signal is transmitted in the rate of 8,000 frames per second. So when you are coming for byte, it is transmitted left to right and then bottom to up. When you are coming for bit transmission, the transmission is from most significant bit to least significant bit. The duration of frame in SONET is 125 microseconds. What is the duration of frame? The duration of frame in SONET is 125 microseconds. So next one is STS one frame. So this is actually one STS signal will be having 8,000 frame, and in each frame it will be having 6,480 bits. Next one, this is the STS one frame, and this is the overheads. We are having 3 types of overheads. One is section overhead, another one line overhead, another one is path overhead. Okay, the first 3 column it is section overhead, another 6 column is line overhead. Okay, the next one is the path overhead. So this one is synchronous payload envelope. Synchronous payload envelope is nothing but data plus path overhead is called synchronous payload envelope. Section overhead. This is section overhead. It is having 3, 6, 9. It is having 9 bytes. This A1 and A2 are called alignment bytes. B1 is parity byte. D1, D2, D3 are management bytes. E1 is order wire byte. C1 is identification byte. F1 is user byte. So these are the bytes that is coming in section overhead. So first one is alignment byte. Alignment bytes are used for framing and synchronization. It will alarm the receiver that some new frame is arriving, and it will ask the receiver to synchronize. So for doing this, it will be using some special bit pattern. So that bit pattern is nothing but 0xF68, and it is mentioned in hexadecimal. These bytes serve as a flag. Okay, next one is section parity byte. So it is used for bit interleaved parity, 8-bit bit interleaved parity, and it is calculated for the previous frame. It is calculated for the previous frame. Okay, and next one, this byte is, the value of this byte is filled only in the first frame, and in all the consecutive frames its value is 0. Next one is identification byte. This identification bytes carries the identity of STS1 frame. When this STS1 frame is multiplexed, it is having importance. So this identification byte is very important for demultiplexing. Okay, next one is management byte. So D1, D2, D3 are called management byte, and it is used for operation, administration and maintenance. And order wire byte, it is used for the communication between regenerators or terminals. Last one is a user byte, and user byte is used for the future use. Next one, line overhead. In line overhead, you are having 18 bytes. The 18 bytes H1, H2, H3 are pointers. K1, K2 is automatic protection bytes. D4 to D2 is data communication channel bytes or management bytes. D2 is line parity byte. E2 is order wire byte, and Z1, Z2 is growth bytes. Okay. So the line overhead total it is having 18 bytes. The line parity byte, it is used for error control, and here also it is calculated for the previous frame, and it is used for bit interleaved parity. Here all the frames will be having the same value. So in the case of section parity byte, we are having the value only for the first one, and all the consecutive one it is not having any value. Next one, data communication bytes D4 to D12. It is also used for this operation, administration and maintenance. Next one, order wire byte E2. It is used for the communication between the devices. Okay. Last one, pointer bytes H1, H2 and H3. These bytes are pointers. So these are used, this first bytes H1 and H2 are used to show the offset of synchronous payload envelope. So there may be some condition in which one synchronous payload envelope can't be fixed into one frame. So sometimes you will fix this synchronous payload envelope to 2 frames. So for such a condition, these pointers are used. And the H3, it is used for justification. So justification means whenever the data rate of the SONET is high, we will be getting one extra byte. That extra byte we can place in the H3. Similarly, if the data rate is less, you will be getting 1 byte less that can be placed after this H3. Next one, automatic protection switching bytes K1 and K2. K1 and K2 bytes are called automatic switching bytes, and it is used for the automatic detection of problems in line terminating equipment. Next one is growth bytes, and this growth bytes is reserved for future use. Next one, synchronous payload envelope. Synchronous payload envelope is nothing but it is a combination of 2. That is payload envelope, path overhead, and user data. Okay. So this is a path overhead. It is having the fields path trace byte, path parity byte, path signal label byte, path status byte, path user channel byte, virtual tributary indicator, and growth bytes. First one, path parity byte. It will calculate the parity in the synchronous payload envelope. Next one, path signal label byte. So this is a path identification byte. So it is used to find the different protocols that is used in the higher level. It is used for the identify the higher level protocols. Okay. Next one, path user channel byte. So it is used for the user needs. Next one, path status. Path status is it is set by the receiver to communicate with its status with the sender. So multi-frame indicator. This multi-frame indicator is used when SP is not fitting into one frame. When this synchronous payload envelope is not fitting in single frame, then you can use this multi-frame indicator, which will indicate the type of frame. Next one, path trace indicator. So here a continuous 16-byte string is sent to verify the connection. So the string the type of string is depending upon the application, and the always this receiver compares this pattern with the previous one to ensure that whether something has happened in the path layer. Next one, growth bytes. So these bytes are reserved for the future use.